All right, guys, welcome back to the Duck Chronicles. I got a number of things to show you today as Fox joins us in the West pasture with the ducks. Number one, I've shown you before how I'm using the ducks to actually flatten these taller grasses where I don't want to actually mow. And you can see this is mostly annual rye in this pasture over here, that's high anyway. And it's kind of gone its course. And so we're bringing them back over here for another week to, there's Dana coming over the fence. I don't know if you can see her on the camera. She's right about there. You've got, we had them over here doing this before, and the area where they did it really well, I want to show you the difference. Lots of regrowth, some just rejuvenating the rye, but a lot of it's just the other grasses and other perennial herbs now coming up in the summertime in the pasture. Where if we go to an area where they haven't trampled it, here's another example, a perfect area where they trampled it really good. There's a sprout line right there where I sprouted for them. But if you come into here, there's not much green down there yet. And the reason I'm doing this way is if we come in here and we mow this and we cut this up, it's just gonna be like dust. And in the heat in our summers, it's just gonna oxidize and be gone. And they're not gonna graze it, this older stuff. They're not gonna wanna eat this. But this is great mulch if it gets down on the ground. So I can either get a roller and tow it with a tractor and do it. I can come here and do it myself, or I can just encourage the duck behavior and those webbed feet mash it all down. And that's what we're doing. You can see this here today is where they had their sprouts thrown for them, and there's some scrub in between, but it really doesn't matter if we have these old bushy parts. Oh, and that excessive breeding right there by the drakes, the flock is going to drop in numbers on Monday. We are going to have Operation Drake Dilution. We've kept surplus drakes here for too long, and at this point we're having too much breeding activity. Some of the girls have bald spots on the back of their heads, so it's about time to make some duck sausage and put some duck in the freezer. It's not my favorite thing to do, but there's a point in time where if you keep ducks when they're in a reproductive mode, your flock grows to a point where some of them have to go. And frankly, selling them as live birds, there's not a huge demand out there for drakes, and I have way more than I need. Baby update. The babies are getting big. These are little Welsh Harlequin babies, and they are still just hanging out with their gooses. And as you can see, the geese are really growing in their feathers. They've got a little bit of furry on their butt left, but their wing feathers are in well. And all the effort in keeping them docile, as opposed to the barnyard mafia, seems to have worked. They certainly love their little ducks they grew up with. You can see I'm right here. They have no problem with me being here, and they like to talk. Huh, gooses? Goose, goose, goose. Little Brown's babies were just here. I don't know where they've gone now. That might be them over there. We'll go take a quick look, because I got news about Little Brown. Big news about Little Brown. Yeah, there's their babies. We're still having a few that slipped through the fencing, and that's a problem because they're really too big to do it. You can see a couple of them are crested. That's not a good trait for them to have, honestly. But let's get this hose moved to the next pool, and I'll show you where Little Brown is. So, those babies that Little Brown has there are about 5 weeks old. And if you remember, she did a really good job of raising them, brooding them, protecting them, hatching the eggs. She was a hissy little duck on top of her eggs. And she protected them. She hatched them 5 weeks later. No Little Brown. And Little Brown's been missing for about a week and a half. And maybe 2 weeks now. She's kind of let there's a couple female ducks in the flock that have kind of taken on the role of foster mom. One of the khaki Campbells and one of the Muscovies. She seemed to pass the torch. I had a feeling about this, and I looked all over for her, including under her old hut there, and I couldn't find her. And then the other day I'm out here spraying my trees with some Garrett juice, and look what we have. Little Brown, tail out to make herself look big, all hissy and angry yet again. And I'm not going to do it, but I picked her up the other day when Dorothy brought her some water and food. And we counted 16 eggs under her. She won't hatch all those, but this one duck here, if we let her, it seems like she's going to double our flock this summer. Sometimes that's a good thing. Right now, it's really not. She's mostly raising meat ducks for us, honestly, at this point. But you know, I was going to raise some meat chickens this year, and now I just don't have to do the work. Between taking down some of the drakes and at least all of the drakes from her 2 clutches being processed this year, we've got poultry meat between that and the turkeys taken care of. On the next episode, I'll be in the house and I'll show you where the turkeys are. They're still in the brooder after the first week. They're a bit of a small, kind of dumb, weak bird to go with the low brooder method that I use for most everybody else. So they're actually in a proper brooder in the house. It probably will be for about another week. But everybody else is having a good day, doing their job, mowing down the pasture for me. We'll catch up with you later.